The Prisoner's Dilemma is one of the most famous games studied in economics and psychology. I find it so interesting, all its variations, that I'm actually making my final science project based on its dynamics and the way that people trust or distrust others. But that's a topic for another episode. Today, we're going to expand the topic of game theory by exploring all the dynamics of the Prisoner's Dilemma. Welcome to The Flip. The Prisoner's Dilemma was created by Merrill Flood and Melvin Drescher while working at RAND. RAND stands for Research and Development, which is basically a global policy think tank. I didn't know what a think tank was until I researched RAND, and what I found out is that it's a place where various experts in different fields come together to tackle important questions and problems. Back to Mr. Flood and Mr. Drescher. They made this game as a way to explore game theory, and the game was made into a sort of prison sentence structure by Albert Tucker, who wanted to make the game more relatable to the public. Way to go, Al. I guess we all need a bit of law and order in our lives. So, the situation is as follows. Two thieves were arrested and taken to the police station to be interrogated. Since they've been arrested, they've had no chance to talk to each other and have been stored in separate parts of the building, so no contact whatsoever. Each of them is then told the following. We know you and your partner were both involved in the bank robbery, and you were both found with legal firearms when we arrested you. You are both facing some major time in jail. However, if you help us, we can do something for you. If you confess your crimes and your partner does not, you can go free while he goes to jail for 10 years. If you confess your crime but he does as well, you both go to jail for 5 years. If you don't confess but neither does your partner, you both get 1 year in jail for the lesser charge. You have to tell me now because your partner is getting the same offer. So what would you do? What makes sense for each player to do? Should we both trust in each other and get 1 year? But what if my partner really wants to get out of jail? And because I don't confess and he does, I get 10 years and he goes free. Should I trust my partner? To help visualize this situation, I've created this matrix and let's go ahead and check it out. So let's say you're one of the suspects. I know you're all good people, but let's just pretend, okay? Let's see how the choices look for you. So let's examine the case where your partner confesses to go off free. If you confess as well, you get 5 years. If you don't confess, you get 10 years. So in this scenario, 5 is better than 10, so you'd be better off confessing. Let's examine the case where your partner does not confess, trusting your partnership. If you confess, you get 0 years, you go free. If you don't confess, you get 1 year. So in this case, 0 is better than 1, and you'd be better off confessing. As you see, the dilemma for the prisoners is that considering these outcomes, the best option for each is to confess, acting independently of each other. This thinking process reaches a point called Nash equilibrium in game theory. So let's say you play this more than once. Let's say you play it 10 times. The question I have is whether this confess scenario will stay true, even when people try different tactics throughout the game. The answer is yes. In most cases, the confess scenario becomes the most prevalent. If you remember, I mentioned a science project that I'm making, which is an app based on the Prisoner's Dilemma. I'm going to ask 100 people to play my Prisoner's Dilemma to test out some hypotheses I have about trust. I'll let you know how it goes once I'm done with it. So getting back to 10 plays in a row. If the players reach Nash equilibrium from game 1, they both end up playing 10 games, each getting 5 per, making 50 years of jail time for each. But if they were to trust each other and cooperate, they would end up with 10 games of 1 year, meaning 10 years of jail time. It's a lot better than 50. So why isn't this the equilibrium state? Is the fear of being betrayed driving us to guard against being made a fool of? What is the economic value of cooperation versus competition? What is the economic impact of seeking to maximize our own return at the expense of others or the environment? Is that better than trying to optimize both parties' outcome? These questions come up a lot in everyone's daily life and interactions. This is why the prisoner's dilemma is studied so much in economics and behavioral sciences. I invite you to read more about game theory. The prisoner's dilemma is just one of the many fascinating scenarios that exemplify our daily interactions. In the next episode, I'm going to be talking about tragedy of the commons, which will explore the economic impact of maximizing our own benefit over a common resource. As always, I welcome any comments or suggestions for future videos. Catch you next time on the flip side of economics.